So we've heard quite a lot about the theory of business model innovation. We have this quite complex, quite powerful canvas behind us, which acts as a very useful thinking tool. Mm-hmm. But what's the reality of moving from theory to practice?
I think the most important part is go out of the office, because what you have here is a lot of assumptions about what is your customer, what do they want, to whom you compete, but they are all guesses. Yeah. And what you see clearly is that almost no business model survives the first contact with the customer. It's always a little bit different because people do different things than they tell you. Mm-hmm. So you really have to start observing and take what is very important. The first step is look at what we call the leaps of faith. What are the most important assumptions? If those assumptions would be true, then this would be a great business model, or if they won't be true, just stop with it and start faith. Yes. The other thing is that it has to be very iterative. So it's not like we map it in the morning, we go out and then we fix it and we start to implement. It's really, you find what we call in entrepreneurship dilemmas. You find out it doesn't work. Right. And the surprises, what you find out when you test in the market, that brings you new insights, and that really makes a business model really powerful in the end.
But are there any hints and tips, tricks and insights that you can give us to help people who are beginning with business model innovation be more effective from the start?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there are a few things you can do. You don't have to invent the wheel over again. So look what we call at analogs. So are there other type of business models who try to do it at the same thing, where you could learn from and say, hey, I copy that part. But also you have to be unique. So also look what we call anti-logs. Learn from the mistakes from others. Another very important thing is look, especially that's why we have this upper part, which parts does the customer has to change his or her behavior compared to now, because that will be the most difficult part. Look what needs to be done differently, and that's why we don't have just only this business model canvas, but we look very much also to understand the behavior and who is the person really behind your customer, and then look at that. The reason why we have this competitive part, this other learning, is look what you can do different from your competitor. Perhaps there are certain things they put a lot of emphasis where you find out that the customer doesn't pay a lot of attention to it anymore.
Okay, and all that work then acts as context for what you're doing in the business model canvas. Yeah. When you're trying to work out the relationships and the flows of effort and resources and so on. Yeah. So you can start with the business model canvas, but you're going to do better if you do this contextual work as well.
Yes, because it's all relative. People always compare it to the other thing. And what you also can do is, a lot of people start with just the customer, but take sometimes a different angle and say, okay, what kind of means do we have? Yeah. And can we be creative with it? Or this is the much I want to spend, and how can I do things in a different way? So a good business model you can disagree with. If you have a business model where everybody agrees, then be worried. And then say we have to postpone it, because there should be something to be disagree and where you can find out some newness.